now ask the IPI representative to do her presentation. Ms. Mao, state your name for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Viola Alupuzo, Senior Vice President for Special Projects, Imperial Pacific. As the Chairman said earlier, Imperial Pacific received before the meeting yesterday at 1:30 the offer for the extension and conditions of those extensions. Just for the record, we had several discussions on the length of time for the extension. IPI had initially requested for 2 years from August 31st, 2018 to August 31st, 2020. There was public comments received by the Commission that had indicated that there was support, overwhelming support for the extension. However, that extension the Commission should consider granting more than just what was requested. Some members of the public had said that the Commission should even consider going as high as 5 years. And IPI has discussed with Pacific Rim their new role, and they've agreed to do the quarterly reporting as well as to ensure the OSHA compliance on the site. Pacific Rim did explain during the meeting that this is one of the tasks that they're responsible for, and they work closely with the federal OSHA. Department of Labor here on Saipan has an OSHA division, and it is recommended that they be involved to make sure of compliance. More inspections on the site by the local OSHA, then that might ensure, that will boost up worker safety. In addition, IPI as a publicly traded company is required to have an external auditing firm. Right now, that company that we have is Ernst & Young. Both the Hong Kong and the CNMI firm conducts IPI's external audit, which is basically an audit of the entire company to include operations of gaming and the construction. They actually issue a report twice a year, and so IPI will be required to submit the biannual audit of the company with regards to construction to the Lottery Commission to ensure compliance. Once Pacific Rim submits the quarterly report to the Lottery Commission, they will have DPW to monitor construction compliance, and then, as I stated earlier, Department of Labor's OSHA to monitor OSHA compliance for worker safety.
So, the construction milestone schedule will be 15 days.
Will be submitted 15 days after, once the amendment number 6, if it is approved, it will be submitted 15 days after it's approved. IPI has offered as consideration for the extension to make an in-kind donation of $500,000 to an organization, whether it's government like CHC, or as the Commissioner said, DPS. There's a list of criterias, if I may, which specifically are education, scholarship, infrastructure, healthcare, or employee retirement benefits that could be determined later on which will be the beneficiary.
If it's all right with you, Commissioner, as the motion has been set forth in relation to item number 1 on the agenda. Do I hear a second to the motion?
Yes, second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. May I please ask the room to excuse us? We're back to our public hearing for today's extension request.
Chairman, I had one item of concern that if we could discuss a little further and make a decision on page 4, the liquidated damages. One of the things that is not clear to me in the proposed contract is the manner in which these liquidated damages would be paid. And I'd like to maybe clarify and maybe strengthen this language a little bit. If we're going to be assessing them as we complete or don't complete milestones, or if it's going to be at the end of the project or end of each year.
So the idea or the conclusion of, from our discussion, or what we came to that is reflected on the draft here was towards the end of the extension period. Once that is not met, hence the $5,000 a day kicks in. The only thing that maybe for the purpose of consideration with regards to putting up to a total, maybe that need not be said, so that way when upon completion of the entire project, then that the daily charges, or as they say, the faucet, you turn off the faucet.
Okay, I'm not sure if you were specifically mistaken, so I remember you mentioned that during your presentation that when you do go back into start back of the project, you guys are going to be doing multiple tasks, meaning if not only over at one side of the building, we're working, you have some guys also working the other side. So I'm kind of wondering how we would gauge that as far as completion, if they're doing multiple tasks.
The construction, what we anticipate is this construction milestone schedule. It's part of what is already done anyways on the project. We, in our discussions last night with Mr. Eric Poon, who's here with us, what they would do is come up with the task that needs to be done in order to get the project completed, and then provide a timeline. Now, all those tasks will include every aspect of the construction project on the site. So I'm not quite sure when you say other areas, do you mean within the construction site or outside of the construction site? So the CMS will include all the tasks that are pending within the construction site, within the development in Yarapan. And then, so there'll be a list of things that needs to be done, when we anticipate that they'll be done, and then we'll break down our reporting by quarter to give an update on what needs to be done.
Bottom line is we don't want you coming back after 3 years, thinking else that you need another extension.
Thank you for that. Is there anything that you wanted to follow up with, Commission?
I'm good, Mr. Chairman. I think I'm satisfied with the negotiation.
For a point of clarification, again, going back to striking out that word of up to a total and just make it, until upon completion with respect to the liquidated damage assessed. Commissioners, do you have any comments or anything that you want to add on to that? At this point, San Puzio, I'll give you a couple.
We're fine with that, Chair.
And all the other agencies that you had mentioned, DPW and OSHA, labor, with the certification process. But prior to that, then, it'll be a discussion between the CMS. Those reports that you'll be submitting to the Lottery Commission, that they are also submitted to the Casino Commission.
I'm sorry, just for clarification, Chair. You wanted that language in the amendment as well?
Yeah, just so it's not just to the Lottery Commission, as they are the, under the makeup, you know, they're the operations. Now, terms that were agreed upon, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it.
Motion to authorize you to sign the agreement, making it on behalf of the commission.
A motion has been set forth on the floor to authorize the chairman of the Lottery Commission to move forward with the agreed upon conditions for signing on the extension. Do I hear a second?
I'd like to second the motion, Chairman.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. I wanted to thank my colleagues here for being here during those 3 days, and the authority to grant the amendment is you know, a long arduous road, and it is with the governor's hands, and he's authorized us. Because of the governor has interest in bringing this important issue to our people, he's delegated that responsibility to this body. I thank those who have participated and contributed to this process, and he has strengthened our understanding of the community's needs in an open and transparent process. Our decision today is based upon the goals of our Commonwealth and the governor to support the creation of a viable industry that is operated in a fair and safe way for all who call these islands home. We need to ensure that completion targets are met, safety and labor standards are upheld, and this project sees completion and successful operation for our economy. I believe that through this process we've done that. With that being said, Olomai, Susmasi, and thank you.